So here's the article. SIGEP and Alpha Phi draw criticism after Kanye Western themed raid. Several UCSD students are asking the university to respond after Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity and Alpha Phi sorority held a Kanye Western theme raid Tuesday night, for which guests dressed in baggy clothes, plumped lips, and padded bottoms, or as Kardashians. Kelsey Thomas, a third-year fine arts student and a member of the African Student Union, said other ASU members said they saw partygoers with those costumes. Photos from the raid also show attendees with their foreheads covered in charcoal. And I think this is in response to the photo I showed you before. This photo, right? Okay, we'll continue on. Oh, excuse me. Oh dear. All right. The presidents of the Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity and the Alpha Phi sorority did not respond to several calls for the comment. Student leaders of the ASU have asked the students' general members not to comment until they meet as a group and release a collective statement Wednesday evening. Kevin Doherty, the director of fraternity and sorority relations, was not available for comment because he was out of town. The university said in an email statement Wednesday evening it is concerned about the allegation and is gathering information about what happened, which is really good, not jumping to conclusions. They have to see what's going on. The university added students are free to celebrate in the way that draw on popular culture, but their specific choices can cause harm and pain to fellow members of the community. Sure, the blackface. I mean, it can, it can create that kind of harm and pain. Simply put, just because you can do something does not mean you should. The university said in the statement, and I agree. I mean, you can technically kill people. That doesn't necessarily mean you should. Okay. Some ASU members stood outside of the fraternity house Tuesday night and confronted fraternity members, asking them to end the event. Thomas said, "It is extremely disrespectful for any organization to think this is possibly a good idea." Thomas said, "I understand the play on word, but there are so many other ways to dress other ways to fit that." I kind of disagree with this. I'll come back to it later, I guess, when I'm just going over your thing. Fourth-year political science students Jameson Cortez, who has seen photos and tweets from the party, said he expected the fraternity to be conscious of existing issues with the campus climate and refrain from dressing up in the ways he said culturally appropriate a subset of UCLA community. As someone who's been in a UCLA fraternity, I had hoped that the Greek life had more awareness than to host an event where Black culture was the theme, Cortez said. I really, really disagree with this, right? So if you're in a fraternity or anything, if you're culturally aware, then you're not supposed to have anything Black or Asian. This is a really general statement that can be abused. Maybe I know what maybe I know what this person's saying, but okay, I'm gonna move on. Sigma Phi Epsilon released a statement on Facebook Tuesday morning, and that's the thing we saw before, whatever it was, I think. They said the students dressed as minors in reference to Kanye West's song Gold Digger, but said their attire was not race-related. And this is exactly what I'm saying, right? It was taken out of context. A Kanye Western-themed party was intended to celebrate popular culture, and as I read before, members said in a written statement, "We realized that the theme showed a lack of judgment on our part and that some of the guest costumes were offensive to members of the Bruin community." And I agree, if you're actually wearing a blackface, then not, and I don't agree with this, whatever photo that was, this photo. I think this is innocent, and I'll get back to that later. But said their attire was not race related. A Kanye Western themed party was intended to celebrate popular culture. Okay. Chancellor Gene Block said in an email that the party included people dressed in costumes which exaggerated racial stereotypes, leaving many African American students feeling mocked and disrespected. Even if that was not the intent of the partygoers, it should not have been hard to foresee that this would be the reaction, Block said. This was a very poor judgment, and I too was offended. Everyone at UCSD is smart enough to think more carefully about the impact of their actions. So they're particularly criticizing the actual fraternity, and I really, really disagree with this. So let's go back to your comment. Okay. Oh my god, this is gonna be so long. Okay. Um, there are multiple eyewitnesses accounts of seeing people wearing blackface. You can say that this is not hard evidence. And like, yeah, I mean, if this were just the statement and if there were no photography, yeah, I mean, sure, this is not hard evidence, but you can say that it's easily picture that you can easily just as easily say that the pictures that look innocent were photoshopped. I mean, not really, because I saw the story like the day after it happened, and I saw the Instagram photo, this photo, 15 hours ago, and this was like the day after, and 15 hours ago during the day the before, it would have been the party. So I don't think it was photoshopped at all. I don't know, and this is like exactly why I say you should assume innocence before guilty, right? And there was photographical evidence of blackface, so they were guilty. Um, why would members of the black community be upset and claim that they saw blackface? Again, they saw blackface, so that's offensive. Put yourself in the position for a moment. Imagine that this fraternity or another fraternity or sorority or any organization threw a party with the Asian celebrity theme. And non-Asian people showed up at the party with their eyes taped back or squinting with chopsticks in their hair, holding calculators, wearing fake glasses, wearing high waters, holding bowls of white rice, and or dressed as a ninja or geisha or something like that. Would you believe it when they claim it's just celebrating Asian culture? Let's be honest. Pop culture can hardly include Asian culture. Hardly includes Asian culture. Okay, I think, and I guess this is the thing. I guess I'll go back to my original one, right? Original comment. If someone were to actually put on the blackface, those individuals must be punished accordingly, rather than the whole fraternity getting punished and vilified for it. As I said before, the actual party itself didn't have any racist overtone, and I think you agree with that, right? Not saying that the theme was intentionally racist, but it showed very poor judgment, and you can't really say that. It's like you have to punish the individuals. I think this may be, and I will be offended, but I think it's kind of the whole party itself. I mean, through a party, no. And you would agree with me, right? If Asian celebrity theme, because the actual thing is not bad in my opinion. Like, let's say I were to have a Jackie Chan party for some reason, and if people were to bring bow staff and were to be maybe dress up as a ninja. I really am, or dress up as a ninja, but this is taken in out of context. I don't want to say that. I would be okay with that. And if the party itself was innocent, and if people were actually dressed like that, I wouldn't mind that. I don't think you would mind that either, because it's like a ninja, all martial arts, like it's relevant. With chopsticks in their hair, I don't know. Maybe that's appropriate. Tape. This is like, and this is exactly what we see, right? Tape back or squinting. This I cannot. I don't think it'll be good. And I agree with you, because like it's like generalization of the whole Asian population rather than these celebrities, right? Holding calculators again. Holding up. Okay, yeah, like okay, I agree with you. But again, I'm saying that the party itself cannot be blamed for what the individuals do, and it had an innocent overtone, unlike the Compton party, where it was like, okay, we should do this Compton, and it's gonna be like racist grape soda, blah blah blah, blah, right? The party itself, and I'm saying this again because it's really important. The party itself was not, and party itself did not have racist undertone. Those individuals must be punished accordingly. I'm repeating again, like I'm not gonna say it again. And yeah, sure. Or maybe it doesn't have to be that over the top. Maybe it's just a few things more individually characteristic of one of those Asian Americans, really, but something that is still Asian stereotype. Maybe you wouldn't be offended because it's not a big of a deal to you. You see it as just harmless fun, nothing overly racist, and I agree, sure. But could you then at least understand why other peoples of the Asian community would be offended? And yes, I can see that. I can definitely see that, right? I mean, if you were to be, I wouldn't be offended. Like I'm like, I don't know. I'm really good at. I'm really acceptable with like satirizing and everything, right? But I can see that the tape back and squinting, holding calculators for these people would be, like that's not relevant. And like, why would you? That's like overall generalization of Asians. Like I don't know why that would be good, and I can understand. No, it's not offensive. That's how Asians are.